Hey there, welcome to Consult a Blind Guy. My name is Andrew. I'm here to help you grow your channel, build your brand, and educate the sighted about the blind and visually impaired. In today's episode, we're talking about scammers, hackers, and liars. And as most of you know, this is something that I really can't stand. I hope that you enjoy today's episode. Let's get into it.
Disappointed by reality, trying to come back, start something new, build up yourself, it's all to you. Stay strong no matter what they say, you keep getting better every day. Hold your head up, never gonna stop, feelings and proud, stand up and shout. Stand my ground.
Hey there, as I said, welcome to Consult a Blind Guy. My name is Andrew, and in today's episode, we're talking about scammers, hackers, and liars. You're probably wondering, Andrew, why in the hell are we talking about scammers, hackers, and liars today? Thursdays are supposed to be about interviewing community members. Well, unfortunately, the member that I wanted to interview today didn't get back to me in time to be able to ensure that he was going to be available. So I chose to do today's topic because it is something that happened to me this week. Unfortunately, I got scammed. And I'm like irritated to no end. It started off my day in a bad way because of this situation. And first, I'd like to thank you all for being here and welcome to the live stream. Let's see who we have with us today. Divided by Sight. Hey, Lauren, thanks for being here. Greatly appreciated. If you are here watching this live, please feel free to say hello, talk with the community members here in the chat if you're with us on YouTube. If you're watching on Twitch or on Facebook, please feel free to join us on YouTube so you can have more of a community interaction, because this is where the majority of the community hangs out during the live streams. It is greatly appreciated that you're here. If you're wondering about Raven's Videos 1 in the video chat, that is my other channel, specifically the one I just got scammed on this week. Some of you are already aware of the situation, but for those of you who might not know or aren't aware, because you're not in our community group or friends with me personally, this past week I reached 1,000 subscribers on Raven's Videos 1, and because of hitting that milestone, I thought I would give back to our community and give a $50 Amazon gift card. And the winner was Designs by CAD Pro. Unfortunately, somebody decided to take CAD Pro's profile picture and change their name on a Gmail account and sent out the email portraying themselves as CAD Pro to claim his $50 gift card. CAD Pro reached out to me last night and again this morning to try and resolve the issue of claiming his gift card. And I was unaware that the person originally corresponding with me in the email was not in fact CAD Pro, because I did not have CAD Pro as somebody in my email list prior to last night and this morning. And unfortunately, somebody has already claimed his $50 gift card. So now I'm out $50 and somebody out there somewhere in the world is enjoying that gift card that belonged rightfully to CAD Pro. And I am very sorry about that, CAD Pro. I am trying to figure out a way to make it up to you, and I will get in touch with you about that soon. Hey, Aaron, thank you for joining us today. It's greatly appreciated, brother. And as I was saying, it's very irritating. Most of you already know that I cannot stand having people lie to me or scam us or take advantage of people or anything like that. That's one of my biggest pet peeves, and that's why We have moderators and things here to deal with people that get out of line or are disrespectful and things like that. And it's unfortunate that one of our community members has lost out on a $50 gift card because there's a bad apple out there somewhere in the world that decided to lie and take that opportunity. So I will be figuring out something to make it up to you. I don't know what that's going to be just yet, but I will figure out something, CAD Pro. And thank you for being understanding and hitting me up this morning and talking with me about it. So I am aware of what happened and I can try to figure out something to make it up to you. Unfortunately, I even talked to Pat Flynn about this today, and he explained to me that I should be happy. Unfortunately, it's only $50, but I should be happy because it's not more than $50. It's not like they hacked my computer or that they stole my computer, or in his case that he mentioned that he's been screwed over like this before by about $10,000. So in that case, I'm very lucky because it wasn't like they gained access to my bank account or anything like that. But this here is one reason that I mentioned in previous streams and in a couple of videos why when you get them suspicious emails that you shouldn't click on links. You should always reach out to that person and verify who they are, maybe have a Zoom meeting or chat with them to where you can actually see them face to face if you have that capability, to ensure that, like, if they're doing sponsorships or brand deals or anything like that, that you can ensure that you're not being scammed. And look what happened. I unfortunately didn't click on a link, but I still got scammed because I did my best to ensure that it was actually our community member by looking at the profile picture and the name and all I could to ensure that it was in fact the winner. Now I have to actually make a new set of ways to be redundant to verify identity before I can do a giveaway again in the future. As I was saying the other day, if we reached 100 here on Consult a Blind Guy, I wanted to do something similar to what I did on Raven's Videos 1. And unfortunately, at this point in time, I will still do a giveaway at 100, but the winner will be picked and be notified in a different manner. There's going to be some kind of security set up to ensure that if it is in fact the winner or not, because I am not about to have this kind of a shitty lesson happen again. Pardon the language, but it really pissed me off this morning. I've been in a bad mood all morning because of it. And I don't know how I'm going to do it just yet, but I'm probably going to end up having to implement but yet another group to have to manage to ensure that the community members that do win are a part of that group to where I can get in contact with them more easily compared to just email to verify identity and things like that to ensure that the requirements for the giveaway are met. And if you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can stay updated on the latest videos, live streams, and more. Unfortunately, today's topic is kind of a rant topic because I know that there's a lot of people in our community who want to do giveaways and things for their community as well that don't want to have to deal with the situation like I just did. And if that is you, please, by all means, post it into the chat, or if you're not watching this with us live and you're watching the replay, If you've dealt with something like that, let us know. It's helpful to know what kind of situation you had so we can try to prevent these things from happening in the future. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop that into the chat, or if you're watching in the replay, put that in the comments. If you could put question in all caps, it makes it a lot easier for me to be able to see that you do have a question, and because I am legally blind, it makes it stand out a little bit more for me to see. Let's see who we have here with us. Hey, Vigil, thank you for joining me today, brother. Greatly appreciated. I appreciate everybody's comments today as well on my friends list and within our community group. And if you're not a member of our community group already, it would be awesome to have you join us. You can find that at Consult a Blind Guy Hangout group on Facebook. It is a private group. It's only set to private to ensure that we don't have people hopping in and hopping out and trying to scam people or be disrespectful or anything like that. Because as I said, that's one of my big pet peeves, is ensuring that our community is secure and a safe place for everybody. If by any chance you don't feel like commenting or chatting with your specific situation and you want to keep it private, you can always feel free to email me at consult.ablindguy@gmail.com. Privacy is a very big thing to me. Your information will not be shared without your prior permission. As I said, liars, hackers, and scammers annoy the living hell out of me. Question: what's in store for your next videos? Currently, Lauren, the videos that are coming out over the next couple weeks are the remaining videos out of the 10 series for how to get off of disability. I'm currently trying to work on doing the StreamYard tutorials. I'm trying to do more research to be more in-depth specific on print-on-demand companies like Teespring and Shopify, Printify, and Printly and things like that, because I am not one of them people who is going to spend an arm and a leg to use a site that does not guarantee I'm going to get a return of my investment. Some of them sites that I've mentioned before, other than Teespring, like Shopify and Printly and things like that, they actually charge you around $20, $30 a month on the very lowest plan. And to me, I don't want to spend $20, $30 a month to have some website store, kind of like Teespring, and not have any sales. To me, that would be absolutely stupid. Because unless you have a lot of people who are actually dedicated to purchasing your merch, why in the hell would you want to spend $20, $30 a month and not make anything in return? That's my biggest thing. That's why I highly recommend Teespring, because it costs you absolutely nothing to use their platform. It's all free and you can make money. Whereas if you use one of the other ones, you're going to spend $20, $30 a month for their lowest plan, and you can have your stuff up there for a month but never make a single cent in sales. Whereas if you use Teespring, You could put it up there for free and it remains free forever. You get occasional discount codes that you can give to your customers, and it costs no profit to you. They actually give you the entire profit that you have set for your item, and Teespring takes the hit by giving you that discount. And as I've said before, I've got 5 different merch stores. Currently not linked in the description, but they are in the previous videos as well as linked on the channel header. And why do I do it that way? Well, as I said, it costs me absolutely nothing to use their platform. And if somebody buys something, they'll get that item and I'm the one that makes a profit. And then when I'm good and ready to, I can withdraw the money that is owed to me. Whereas if you use some of the other sites, you're going to pay that fee for a month and you're going to have to pay that fee every month after or until you choose to take your designs down or close your account because you didn't make any money. And to me, it seems easier to go with Teespring and maybe buy a sample of your own product to ensure it comes out how you want it rather than spending $20, $30 a month getting that put up onto their website, which has similar capabilities to Teespring, but not entirely the same exact features. For instance, like do believe it's Shopify gives you the ability to have 4 stores, whereas I can go on Teespring and I can have unlimited stores. And they also give you a blog page. But why do that when you can go to Teespring, have your unlimited stores for whatever niche it is that you want, and then you can just have a Facebook page as your blog, still free, sitting right there in a platform that is already utilized by most of us in the first place. See, and Lauren, that's another good point right there, is you heard Redbubble charges a lot for shipping. Teespring doesn't. They do charge a little bit depending on your item, but it is way better than some of them other sites that I've mentioned because they do charge out the butt. Plus, they charge you tax and everything else. Whereas if you go with Teespring, it's fairly priced, and every 3 days of your orders, if there's a purchase, every 3 days your item gets printed, and then within average of 2 weeks your customer will have their item. Now, of course, thanks to COVID, things have been a little bit slower, but not all that much. And because I use Teespring and because of the discussions I've had with some of our other influencers, they've actually started using Teespring themselves because it's easier to use the free platform compared to investing in a company that you're not guaranteed to get any sales from. And to me, I think that's the biggest thing when it comes down to having a merch line is, do you want to invest in something that doesn't guarantee you're going to get any sales? No. I would much rather spend my time making my designs and putting it on Canva and not lose out any money and actually be able to get a profit compared to investing into something and going, okay, well, that's 20, 30 bucks down the drain that I just wasted that could have gone to groceries or maybe a channel membership or whatever you could have wanted to spend that $20 to $30 on. And that's another reason that I had today's idea for the topic, besides me getting scammed out of that $50, is that's another reason. You have these companies out there that will tell you that they're going to do these certain things, and then if you look through their terms of service, some of them actually contradict exactly what they say they're all about. Parler, for instance. Parler is another website kind of like Facebook. And on their header and in their main page before you create an account, they boast that they want to be the number one platform for allowing everybody to abide by the First Amendment of free speech. But when you actually look at their terms of use, they contradict themselves every other sentence practically. How is it you can have a platform that says we're going to allow free speech, but turn around the very next sentence and state, oh, well, we can remove your account for any reason. We can remove your account if you violate our standards. Well, if your standards state that you're open to the First Amendment, providing you don't violate the sexual nature and hate speech and things like that, then I can understand that. But when it's just because somebody else out there goes, oh, well, I didn't like your opinion. Oh, well, I'm going to report you to the company, and they can decide to remove your stuff just like Facebook with their double standards. I ain't going to waste my time. Why would I want to go to somebody that bullface lies to you on the front of their website and then in their terms of use? That to me is another double standard that I cannot stand. I cannot stand liars. To me, they deserve the worst punishment. Sorry, but I am one of them people that I like cruel and unusual punishment. I'm into that capital punishment. You do something that is like, for instance, current news, the first Native American to be executed down in Indiana. Well, if he wouldn't have killed an elder and a child, he wouldn't have been put in prison on the death penalty. I'm one of those that will tell you all lives matter, but his don't. Scum of the earth like him that abuse elders, abuse women, abuse children, in my opinion, should be brought outside and either beat to death or tortured to death. I'm just saying. I'm not a nice guy when it comes to them kind of things. If you're going to beat an elder to death, well, then I'm going to rip off your fingernails and your toenails one by one. Then I'm going to take a ball-peen hammer and a sledgehammer, and I'm going to smash your hands and then your legs and your arms. I'm going to put you through the most painful situation I can. Now, that's just my opinion. I can't stand people that hurt other people in that sense, whether it's an elder, whether it's a woman, whether it's a child. And that to me should be the same thing that happens to liars. If you lie, well, I'm going to give you one hell of a punishment. It'll teach you not to lie again, because if you do, well, guess you get your ass beat even harder the second time, don't you? Sorry, but that's just my opinion. I cannot stand people like that. If we could go back about 100 years, they'd be somebody I would hang with a noose. No one reads the terms of service. You've got that right, Lauren. That is one thing that people really need to do, because if they don't pay attention to them, they could be in some very big trouble. As I've said in previous streams, when it comes down to like Facebook standards or even YouTube standards or any platform standards that violate our First Amendment, I'm a master at violating standards. I get put in Facebook jail on a regular basis. Why? Because I'm not going to allow anybody to deny me my constitutional rights. And I don't care what the companies think. I don't care what the government thinks because I do not answer to them. I spent 8 years in uniform and had no rights while I was in uniform. Because when you are a member of the military, you do not have constitutional rights. You are a government piece of property. Therefore, they can tell you what to do, when to do, and why to do it. And you cannot deny doing it. Because if you do, you're either going to get put in the brig or discharged, or you can have some major fines and other punishment. Hey, Raven, thank you for joining us on Facebook today. Greatly appreciated, Kangi. Let's see what you're saying here. They're over Facebook and other social media. Check everyone out. Don't fall for SOB stories or you won crap. Be alert and trust your gut feeling. Never ever give out your passwords, your personal info. Watch what you say in conversations. Don't share intimate details of your past, even family stories or school events. Yeah, I can see your point on that. I'm one of those that I ain't got nothing to hide. Just saying. But because of the situation I had this morning, or well, this week, because of the whole scammer taking the $50 gift card from one of our community members on my other channel, I have gone through and changed my password on everything just to ensure that even if they were trying to have some kind of little backdoor deal to hack into my stuff or scam me even more or whatever, that they aren't going to be able to get into it because all that information's been changed. Definitely don't share your passwords because that there can definitely screw you over majorly. In fact, I sat here last night listening to my replays from Lita so I could go through and start editing those for content here on YouTube. And in my very first one, it was episode 19, and I found at least 4 or 5 clips that I can get out of that one stream to repurpose as a standalone video because of the rants that I go on these different type of topics like this. And that's just one live stream. Thank you, Just Samson, for the suggestion on that, because you are right, brother. There's a lot of content within those live streams that could be standalone clips. And anybody that knows me personally or here on the different channels that I've got on YouTube know that those are things that I do my best to avoid, is scammers, hackers, and liars. Unfortunately, I've got a few of those in my own family, in the sense of scammers and liars. And they don't care about anybody but themselves and screwing over other people. And I'm referring to a particular relative who thinks that it's all right to con his own family members out of money or stealing items of theirs or stealing sacreds of theirs and many other different things. To me, he's one of the worst offenders in our family, and he should feel honestly lucky that somebody doesn't beat the living hell out of him or drag him through the mud like he should be. And If I didn't feel like risking it, I'd do it my damn self. But he is one of those types that will go and call the law or whatever he can do just to screw with people because he thinks he's better than everybody else and he likes drama. And thankfully, I've learned my lesson. I've dealt with his bad medicine enough to know that I'm not going to put up with his bullshit no more. And he's tried texting and got blocked. He tried Facebook messaging, got blocked. Don't bug me no more, because I won't ever hear a damn thing you try saying anymore, because I ain't listening to him. And I've already informed all of our family members and our community members of the situation that he has put me in over the last couple years, and I ain't gonna deal with it. You want to be disrespectful, you want to be a bully, you want to be a thief, you want to be a liar, I have no use for you. And the simplest thing to do is just to walk away, even if they are your own family. Unfortunately, I thought he was somebody I could trust and be able to learn more things from, but I found out otherwise. How did I find out that it wasn't the right person that I picked for the winning of the giveaway? That person is actually a member in my community on Facebook and reached out to me in a private message as well as in another email, and he wanted to claim his prize. And I asked him, it's like, well, I already gave you your prize. And he's like, no, you didn't. What email did you send it to? So I showed him the email. And unfortunately, he's like, that's not my email. And it's like, really? So I had went back into my Gmail to look at it. And you know how, like right now, you've got your profile picture for on Facebook or on YouTube. It's that nice little round thing, just like in your Gmail. The other day, when I received the original email to claim the prize, they had actually taken CADPro's profile picture and put it as their Google profile picture for their Gmail account and had the name of Designs by CADPro as their actual name rather than their legal name. And the email was a standard Gmail account. And when CADPro hit me up today on Facebook and last night on Facebook, as well as emailed me on here last night, when he messages me, it gives me his actual legal name on his email. It gave me his profile picture. Whereas when you go and look at the original email I received, whoever it was portraying to be him has changed their Gmail profile picture to something completely different than what it was the other day to portray themselves as CADPro. Hey, Kim. I'm sorry. I thought you would have got notified. It's a little bit later today than what I was hoping. I wanted to do it at our usual time of like 1 to 2 or 2 on, but I had office hours with Pat today because he is actually getting ready to do a keynote speech in a matter of a few minutes. So we had office hours early today, and I wanted to be here right after that. So that's why we started at 3 today. And for those of you who have not voted within the community, I would appreciate if you would answer the poll that I have within our Hangout group so I know what area of time of day is best for you for live streaming. As I said, I want to do it on Mondays and on Thursdays. Monday would be a perfect day, in my opinion, to live stream because I release my recorded videos early in the morning. And if I have a live stream in the morning or afternoon after that recorded video, it gives you an opportunity to interact with me and ask your questions live rather than just waiting until the next live stream in a couple days or posting it in the comments and me possibly taking a while to get to them because I do have a lot of things that I do throughout the day. And then I figured Thursdays was another good day because then it gives me a couple days between each of the streams to be able to get more work done, research done, content recorded, and things like that. Yes, granted, Thursday is already my busiest day of the week as it was, but I wanted to ensure that I could have a break in between each of the live streams because if I do it on Monday and Wednesday, well, then that's only a day difference. Whereas if I do it Monday and Thursday, that gives me 2 days between, and then I have Friday and Saturday, and then Sunday can be my rest day because I have not taken a day off in the last 7 months at all. I am up an average of 20 hours a day working on various different projects and content and research and business meetings. And I don't have a life. So I've been getting told by many of our community members, as well as some of the influencers, that I need to stop, take a break, at least one day a week, maybe once every couple weeks, something. I need to have a break, otherwise I'm going to have burnout, which I kind of understand, but at the same time, I've been on the go like this for like 16, 17 years now. I don't know what a break is. I don't know what a vacation is. I'm always on the go. I don't know how to take a break. Maybe if I ever actually had a reason or was able to afford to go on vacation or something like that, maybe I would take a break. But I figure at least this way, if it's Monday and Thursday, it gives me 2 days, and then Sunday I can possibly rest. And really, I won't even rest on Sundays because that, to me, has always been a ceremony day. And I do that, and then I still focus on getting other projects done so I can get stuff ready for the following week. So I figured Monday and Thursday was the best option because then I can possibly have a day off. Not that I've really taken one. But I do want to get your input here in the community so I know that if you wanted to, you can be here to enjoy the live streams. You can interact with the community. You can ask your questions or give suggestions for future content in a couple days or in the following week or whatever. Yeah, wait till I get to your age, it will force me to take a break. That's what I keep hearing, but I don't know about that one, Kim. I've been dealing with freaking health issues and stuff for most of my life, and I don't let none of that stop me. Like a couple weeks ago when I had my migraine headache during the Lita challenge, it would have been something that would stop most people is having that pounding in their head and severe eye pain and stuff like that, but can't do it. I'm a Marine. You need to take the pain and keep going. In Marine Corps, it is one of their famous sayings of pain is weakness leaving the body. So if pain is weakness, well, then that weakness needs just to get on the back seat because my ass is going to keep pushing forward. Degenerative disc disease and XLRP, arthritis, curvature of the spine, ain't none of that shit gonna stop me. The only way anything's gonna stop me is the day I'm dead. It's just like with this whole virus thing and everybody getting pissed off at me over my opinion, but sorry. I can see through the bullshit numbers that they just keep fluctuating and lying to us about, and you know, I don't deny that there is a situation, but the way that they keep manipulating things, I'm not falling for it. Now, I don't know about you, but when they come out and they say something and then they turn around and contradict themselves and they come out with another contradiction and another contradiction, that just tells me bullshit, don't listen. And then, like the other day, they come out with the other statement of that most of those that are having the issues have pre-existing conditions that cause them to get it in the first place, or that's what's actually causing them to die is they had a pre-existing health issue that caused them to die. And I was talking to a couple people earlier today that actually do know people that have had it, and they're like, it's just another flu. So, whatever. I'm not playing into the government's bullshit. I'm not playing into the whole World Health Organization bullshit because that's a bullshit organization to begin with. If you look at who organized it, how it's run, and who's a part of it, I don't trust not one of them bastards. I am a part of the 3%, not the 1% that think that they can control everything. As I've said before, I'm not into oligarchies, I'm not into tyranny, and that's what we're dealing with around the world right now is an oligarchy and a tyrant within government. I personally met the asshole, and I wish I would have fucking beat the hell out of him back then when I had the opportunity. And he made the statement to me that I would regret when he got to where he is. And he's damn right I regret where he is right now because I should have stomped his damn head in when I had the opportunity. But, good Marine trying not to get in trouble when I was out of state. But, that's here nor there. When shit hits the fan, I'll be ready to go. And he's another perfect example of a scammer and a liar. Because that's all he's done his entire life is scammed people and lied to people. Scammed people and lied to people. That's how he even got his money to begin with, is because his parents were scammers and liars. So, sorry, but I don't trust anybody in this current administration. I don't trust politicians as far as I could pick them up and throw them. To me, every one of them politicians should be brought outside and shot. They've all been in office for way too damn long to begin with. Yes, they are. The Who is a part of the alphabet game. That is exactly right, Kim. And if they have an alphabet gang agency, then they ain't good for the people. The IRS, the FBI, the CIA, all of them. They're assholes that are all getting told what to do, and they're being good little puppets, screwing over the people that they're supposed to be protecting and taking care of. No taxation without representation, right? Yeah, well, doesn't not one of them politicians represent me? Nor do they represent the native people, nor do they represent the American people. So, sorry, but government can kiss my ass. World Health Organization and the foreign agencies, they can all kiss my ass. I ain't falling for their little games. I can read between the lines, and that's pretty bad when a blind guy can see the shit that's going on better than half the people out there with sight. I've lost a lot of friends in the past few weeks because of my opinion. And what's crazy about it is a lot of those people that I've recently lost as friends used to say the same thing, but all of a sudden they've just up and changed their opinion overnight. You know, oh, well, I hate the NWO, or I hate the government, oh, I hate the World Health Organization, I hate the Bilderberg Group, and all the others out there that have been proven time and time and time again that are out there to screw the people and control the world, like Bill Gates, who wants to create vaccines to depopulate the world. And no, I'm going to be one of those people that will willingly stand at the front lines and fight every one of them. I don't care who they are. I swore an oath, and I stand by my oath. The only way to shut me up or to stop me is to kill me. Period. And unless you got balls big enough to do that, you don't scare me. Because I'm going to end up being just like my grandfather. They had to assassinate him. You're going to have to assassinate me. Because that's the only way I'm going to shut the fuck up. Sorry for the language, but that's just how I see it, and that's how I feel. I refuse to fall for those little mind games. I've seen enough shit volunteering for the Marine Corps to know better. Sorry, but 8 years in uniform and not having the ability to speak my mind taught me quite a bit. Because that is one thing that is for certain. When you are in the military, you are not a human being. You are not a soldier. You are government property. They own you. You are just a number. That's why don't none of them senators go out and actually do shit. For instance, here in Michigan, Debbie Stabenow, Gary Peters, supposed to be part of our representatives that state that, oh yeah, I support our veterans. But yet every time we have a vote for veteran benefits or veteran health care or anything like that, who are the first people to stand up and say no? Yeah. Your campaign ads fucking are a bunch of lies. Just like you're a bunch of liars in Congress, you're a bunch of liars in the Senate, you're a bunch of liars in the House of Representatives and throughout the entire administration. The only thing that a politician is good at is lying. Plain and simple. Because that's their whole career right there. I'm going to lie to you so you feel like I actually represent you, and then I'm going to go out and go against every word that I stated that does state that I represent you. That's why I can't stand politicians. They all lie. They might as well just be lawyers, because it's the only thing they do is sit there and lie. Every word that comes out of their mouth is a lie. We love and support our troops. No, they don't. Because if they did, there wouldn't be veteran suicide on a daily basis of at least 20 people every day committing suicide because they don't have the care that they need. They wouldn't be sitting in a combat zone still to this damn day because of the powers that be wanting to steal resources from another country. You know, the government wants to talk about how they can't stand illegal immigration, but yet this country was founded on illegal immigration and slavery and hate. Let that sink in for a minute. They do not represent the people. The only thing they represent is deepening their own pockets. That's all they want. Period. We could tell the American people we'll give them this, 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 and this, and then when they vote us into office, guess what? We're going to come in and we're going to go against absolutely everything that we said we were going to give them. Just like the whole situation with the hoarding and everything else with the stimulus checks and the quarantine and everything else. Think about it for a minute, would you? What happens when you print off money left and right and just give it away? You create more debt. And when you create that debt, what happens to the value of the American dollar? It dwindles and dwindles and dwindles. Why? Because they ain't got shit there to back it up. Which means the American dollar now is worthless. Why? Because they want you to be on a digital money. Why do they want you on a digital money? Because then not only can they track absolutely every cent you have, but then they know exactly what you spent your money on. And then they can also go, oh, hey, look at that. Now we could cut you off just like that. Because if it's not digital, they cannot control it. Because you can have a savings and you can have coinage and paper money set off to the side somewhere other than their banks that they cannot control. And that's why I tend to go on these little rants like this. And honestly, for those of you who might be watching that have not heard me go off on a rant like this in the past, this is very, very mild. And when I mean very mild, I mean very, 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 very mild. There's a couple people in the community right now that are watching this that can verify that I will go absolutely ballistic on these topics. Because, as I said before, government don't scare me. I worked for them for 8 years. At no cost. That should really set the tone right there. I did not get paid to be a Marine. I volunteered at no cost to serve our country. Why? Because as my commanding officer, staff sergeants, and gunnery sergeants and sergeants majors would actually state, I am a Marine's Marine because I am here to represent the people and fuck the government. I am not going to be one of those that just stands by and watches everything go down. I'm going to speak up and I'm going to share my knowledge and my experience, so hopefully people will actually see the bullshit that's happening on a daily basis, and so hopefully we can correct the issue before it gets too bad. Because if it keeps continuing the way that we're going right now, we're all fucked, and it will be a civil war guaranteed. You all, if you haven't already, if you've seen the show Purge, that's what we're working towards right now. This whole defund the police, Black Lives Matter, White Lives Matter, and COVID and everything else, it's all being done to manipulate you into fear and chaos so they can come in and take your rights even more than they already have. Think about that now. Really. If you create fear and chaos, you can control the people, because then you can control their money, you can control their food habits, their social habits, and everything else. You can manipulate people through fear. Period. That's all it takes is a little bit of fear, and you can manipulate people. And I ain't scared. I don't give two shits. I'll go up to the damn hospital, to the COVID wing right now, and let every one of them motherfuckers cough in my face. Why? Because I ain't afraid of getting sick. I have an immune system. My immune system will fight it. You wearing a mask all the time is going to cause more health issues than it is going to save you. Think about this for a minute. Your mouth has a pH level, okay? This is coming from somebody who has no teeth anymore. Your mouth has a pH level, just like your water, just like everything else in the world. That pH level has a good balance and a bad balance. If you take that mask and put it on, one, you're now hindering your breathing because you have to try breathing harder through it. When you're breathing, you're now breathing in your own CO2 and carbon dioxide and everything else that's within your own breath that is supposed to be helping the plants, which takes that, refilters it, and gives us oxygen, right? Okay, you breathe that in, that is now toxins you're breathing back in from your own body. Two, by having that mask on, you're drying out your mouth. When you're drying out your mouth, you're screwing with the pH level within your system, which is causing teeth issues and breathing issues, among other health issues, because of the amount of toxins that you are now breathing in. And I was a firefighter for 2.5 years, as well as an EMT. So it's not like I don't know health when I'm talking on these things. Not to mention, I was in health class, just like everybody else in this country had to take health class. These generations lately, I don't know what the hell they're teaching them in health class, because a lot of them, they're getting some very bad teachings. But then again, I've always said schools are indoctrination camps, and you ain't indoctrinating me into shit. They always tell us in advance what they're planning to do. They do it in movies, TV. Yes, they do, Kim. Yes, they do. And that's one thing I've been trying to tell people for a long time, is if you pay attention to the shit that they're putting out on TV, then you will notice exactly how a lot of this stuff is playing out, just like they've always been putting out. For instance, The Simpsons, been out for 32 years. 32 years, and almost every year they've had a prediction in that cartoon series that has actually happened. How is it that a cartoon can predict the future to a T? How is it that our government can listen to Native American prophecies and teachings and turn around and come out with data that actually supports the teachings of Native cultures here in the United States, Canada, and Mexico, and South America, that actually do state we're going to have stupid fucking situations like we're having right now? All these wildfires everywhere, oil spills everywhere, earthquakes everywhere, mass chaos everywhere. And that's actually going to be something I'm going to be talking about in a future live stream, or maybe even in a couple different recorded episodes too, to share some of our native stories, to give you that emphasis of what our ancestors warned us about 250 years ago, 500 years ago, and prior. If our ancestors can tell us what's going to happen back then, and we can see it evolving before our eyes right now, that should be a clue. Because this whole internet thing is something that they actually had mentioned in our teachings, and how it would be a big downfall for society, not just here in the US, but around the world. There's video games that I can show you as well that will tell you exactly about this situation and how it's playing out right now, as well as movies, as well as TV series, blogs. Our government is manipulating as many as they possibly can to gain more control, because the 1%, the millionaires and billionaires and trillionaires, want to control absolutely everything they possibly can, so you're their little puppet, so they can make more money off of you and do whatever the fuck they want to and not have any recourse, period. Because if they can manipulate the people and go and take their rights, they can turn around and start mining more. They could start drilling for more oil, which is only deepening their pockets, which puts us in more danger. So they could turn around and sell our resources to another millionaire or trillionaire or whatever, and watch us dwindle away, because that's all they want, more money. But guess what? You can't eat money. If you keep poisoning the water, guess what? We're only going to die quicker, because ain't nobody going to live without it. Just saying. It's not that hard to see. Now, I'm curious, how many of you have noticed some of these things? I know Kim has already stated that she's noticed some of these things. While you type that in real quick, I'm going to come down here. Go through one of my little spiels. If you are a content creator, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Pinterest, whatever it is, if you're a content creator, I'd like to give you the opportunity to join me on the channel for a live stream, do an interview, so I can help you grow your channel and your brand. Get you a little bit more exposure to different people that might be interested in your content, to help you reach more so you can get the exposure. Some people don't realize this, but that is actually one of the best ways to grow your channel or your content, is to gain exposure by being on other networks like my channel or whoever else's channel or podcast or whatever. Because if you just keep going to the same places where people already know you, whether it's your friends and family, they're not all that likely to help you in the sense of growing your content. They're just going to sit there and take it all in and either agree or disagree or whatever it is that might be, and you stay at them low numbers. Whereas if you go to different content creators and do collaborations or interviews or whatever it may be, you participate with another content creator, you're introduced to a new community. That community may be interested in your content, which will help you gain new followers. So if you are a content creator, please feel free to hit me up in the chat, in the comments, or hit me up on Facebook or in an email, and we can make arrangements for you to come on the channel and share about your content. That way, you get new exposure, you help me out with having a live stream and more content as well. It's a I'll scratch your back if you scratch my back kind of thing, in a sense. Help you get exposure, helps me create content. Another good question here is, what is it that you're struggling with? Are you struggling with making content? Are you struggling with getting numbers? Are you struggling with anxiety? What is it that you're struggling with that I might be able to help you out with? Because that's why I'm here, is to help. If you would like to, you can put it in the chat or in the comments, or if you don't want to share it publicly, you can always email me. Privacy is one of my big things. You can email me at consult.ablindguy@gmail.com. And if you are watching this on Facebook or on Twitch, please feel free to join us here on YouTube. This is where the majority of our community is during the chat, during these live streams. We'd be more than happy to have you here. And please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can stay updated on the latest videos, live streams, and more. Thank you, Aaron, bro. If you want to come on, I'd be more than happy to help you out. Love having our quarantine fam in the house and being able to help each other, because that is my whole goal, is to help people. Yes, I am trying to get off of disability and have my own income so I can be free of the government restrictions and bullshit, but that is a byproduct. I know it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to be something I have to build. And by helping you, that gives me the opportunity of experience and assisting others, which also helps out with getting testimonials and reviews and feedback and proof that I can help within our community, which could potentially lead to future revenue. Because that is my ultimate goal, is I want to get off of government assistance. I absolutely hate being low income. I've never had a day in my life where I have not been below the poverty level, ever. The one time that I did actually have a fair amount of money, I went out and I gave it all away. I bought things for my family. I donated quite a few $1,000s to my community. And I probably should have saved it and invested it in my own home or something that would have gave me a return on my investment. But I didn't. I went and pissed it away like a dumbass because I was only 18. And I thought that by helping the community that I would get something in return because of being generous. It didn't do shit. The only thing I got out of it was the joy of seeing some of them kids smile because they had a good Christmas, which was actually pretty nice. But still, I could have been smarter with my money when I was younger. It would really be nice to be off of disability. It would be nice to eventually be above the poverty line at some point in my life. This is one thing I will definitely tell you is being visually impaired and trying to produce these live streams alone is a little bit difficult because these little pauses you keep seeing here before you see stuff pop up on screen is because I have to zoom in and zoom out and zoom in on my computer so I can see what in the hell I am doing. Unfortunately, this is one nice feature to the new laptop that I do love, because my old laptop, I could not zoom in like I do now. It's like having my smartphone but on a laptop. And that's why I'm not actually holding this up and reading on it all the damn time today, is because I said screw it and I'm just zoomed in on the different chats and on the overlays and things for the channel, because I really don't need to see what I look like on the production screen. Excuse me. It would be a little bit helpful so I know if my overlays are working out right and on and off and things like that, but I'm getting to the point to where I don't care if I see if it pops up right or not, because eventually I'll get it down to the point to where it don't really matter at all, because I ain't gonna be able to see it anyway. Now, does anybody have any questions? Is there any topic you would like me to cover in next week's live stream, or maybe any particular content creator you would like me to reach out to for possibly having on the live streams? I am open to your suggestions and input and feedback, because you are the ones that I am here doing this for. It's not for me. I'm here to help you. And if there's anything I can do to help you, whether it's with your content, with your channel, with graphics, anything like that, please feel free to let me know. I will do my best to help you. All right. We are 20 minutes after the hour, so get ready to close out today's live stream. Because as I've said in past, I have a tendency I can sit here and go for hours, and I know you all have things to do besides listen to me sit here and ramble or rant all day long. Because if you've seen any of my previous streams before I started doing the Lita challenge, you would know that I've done 3 to 5 hour live streams, and I'm sure don't none of you want to sit here for the next 3, 4, 5 hours listening to me just ramble on the different topics. If you would like to donate and contribute to the channel monetarily, please feel free to send it to paypal.me/RavenAndrew. it would be greatly appreciated, but it is not required. Also, I want to take this opportunity to let the community know that I have altered our wish list setup. Originally, it was mixed together on one list of things that I would like, things that I would like for the sighted community, and things I think that the blind and visually impaired part of our community would like or be interested in, and I have actually separated them. So now I have my own wish list, then I have a wish list for the blind and visually impaired part of our community, as well as a wish list for the sighted community. That way, we are all separated in the sense that it makes it easier to differentiate what people are buying for the community, whether it's gear to help me out with the quality of our content here, whether it's assistive technology for community members, or whether it's something for the sighted community in the sense of books that educate about visual impairment and things like that, or just general items that the sighted community could use, just like all of us in the blind and visually impaired community. Figure this way, it makes it a little bit easier to differentiate what it is for and who it's for and why it's for, because those contributions could be things that are given away in giveaways. But as I said earlier, I will be implementing a new way to verify the identities of giveaway and contest winners. One way, especially here in this part of the community, is it will be a new standard, I believe, which is probably smart, as it was suggested by Divided by Sight, is to make it a requirement that when we do giveaways or contests, that you must be a Facebook community member. That way we can verify, besides just getting emails back and forth, and have a situation like I did this week with the $50 gift card and getting scammed by somebody portraying themselves as somebody they aren't. I would also love to know, for those of you who were here at the beginning of today's episode, what did you think of today's timer? I have been making a few of them to try and give us something different, because unfortunately I can't use the live streaming pros timer. So I made mine, and I'm still creating some other ones in order to make it more appealing at the beginning. Also, Kim, your reference before about the audio levels on the pre-recorded videos will be getting handled here in the near future on all the other content. I was in a People of Video Society meeting last night with Dan from Creator Fundamentals, and we had discussed that because we did channel reviews as well as content reviews, and we had discussed on how I could fix that better compared to how I have been doing it. And future videos will be a bit higher in the volume, but I'm going to do my best to leave it at a fairly good volume, but they still might be kind of loud on your end, in which case that will be up to you guys to control on the volume rather than me doing it for you on my end, and it being too low and then you trying to jack up your volume as far as you can and it still be low. So the next couple of videos still might be low, but the videos after that will not be, because I will be making sure I leave the volume at a decent level compared to knocking it down like I have in the past. I'm not seeing any no more questions or comments come in. So I want to thank you all for joining me today. It is greatly appreciated. I hope you're all staying safe and enjoying the weather, because I know in some areas it's like super cold, some areas it's super hot. And if you're out in the West Coast, I know you're dealing with a lot of wildfires and things like that, and that's not cool either. So I hope everybody stays safe and enjoys their day. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you can stay updated on the latest videos, live streams, and more. And I will see you all next week on Monday to go over our next Q&A session for the next video release. I hope everyone has a good one, and we will see you then. Until the next time, peace out.